and you didn't hear anything I just said, hey everybody, it's me, TheClassicJuan, coming to you from this room. Going to be playing some Ikari Warriors for you guys. Yep, I realized that I had my mic off right in the middle of my intro. But hey everybody, so we're going to be playing some Ikari Warriors today for you guys. Should be fun. This is one of my favorite games of all times, which is kind of a weird one, I know. And so I was trying to think of kind of what game really got me into gaming, and memorandum, if you could let me know if you can hear me now, that'd be great. So one of the things that got me into gaming was this game, and I was just trying to think of like what game really personified that, and this kind of ended up being the one, and really it was because this one got the most play in our house growing up. Obviously, Mario was my first ever game that I ever played on a console. I played a lot of PC games before that when you had to type in everything into MS-DOS, but really the thing that solidified like playing a game repetitively and enjoying it, and probably what I would classify as my favorite game, is this game right here that I'm going to play for you guys, which is Ikari Warriors. So just a little background on this game, and I'll probably end up using some codes somewhere in the middle because I'm going to die like 100 times probably. Ikari Warriors is actually a game that was created by the company SNK, which is best known for Metal Slug series, which is one of my other really favorite series, and King of Fighters is probably one of the most well-known series that they do as well. And so this is one of their first games, obviously, and so Ikari Warriors came out at a time where like the commando type game was really popular, and as you can see down there, it's just one of these vertically scrolling games. But what really set Ikari Warriors apart when it came out in 1986 was that it was actually an arcade cabinet game, and it actually had a joystick that was rotary. And so because of the rotary joystick, you could actually turn the character around and shoot in different ways at the same time, kind of doing like a strafe movement. And so that kind of really set this game apart from other games, and so that's why it did so well. And then I think it was the following year it was ported to the Nintendo, where I obviously bought it and played it like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times, and I don't think I ever passed the first level. And so I'm going to show you some stuff that's beyond the first level once we really get into the thick of things here. And so Ikari Warriors is actually called just Ikari in the Japanese version. Ikari means fury. The characters of the game actually have different names. In the Japanese version, it's Colonel Ralph, R-A-L-F, and Second Lieutenant Clark. And outside of Japan, Paul and Vince is the name of the characters. They are also featured in Metal Slug 6 and 7, and in the King of Fighters series as well. And so yeah, these guys have been around. So this game was kind of based off Rambo, and you can obviously tell that with some of the visuals that you're getting down there. I think it's pretty obvious. Alright. So I don't think you guys can really hear the game too well, but there's not a lot of music playing in the game, but I'll get it going here in a minute, because during this little like preview promo thing that it does, all you really get is like them throwing stuff. So I'll talk a little bit about the mechanics of the game, because it's really, oh, you can hear very well. All right, cool. The mechanics of the game, because the mechanics of the game is a little weird, because obviously it had the rotary joystick, and this Nintendo controller is not rotary, so it'll be interesting and fun all at the same time, I think. All right. So today I'm actually going to be drinking a beer that I found at the tienda that I was interested in trying. So this is a beer called Blood and Honey. It is from the Revolver Brewing Company. It is an American ale. It's actually, where is it? It's from Granbury, Texas. Not Grand Prairie, Granbury, Texas. And so we'll give it a shot. I actually have not drank this beer prior to today, so it looks like it's finished with some malt, some barley and wheat, and we got some blood orange peel, some Texas honey, and a blend of spices. So we'll see what this is all about. And so if you guys haven't gotten the hint in watching us, I think we're trying to stay at a local beers, and by local we mean here in Texas. So if you can drink a beer, please join. If you cannot, well, I'm sorry. Enjoy your juice. Salute. Holy smolies, that's delicious. That is so tasty. Alright, so I'm going to be looking up because that's just where I gotta look to make sure that all this stuff goes down the way that it's supposed to. Alright, guys. I will talk to you guys as I play here a little bit. So here we go. All right. Actually, let me do something real quick. All right. Did that. All right. So Ikari Warriors. So in Japan, the original title screen like that, it just says Ikari. It doesn't say Warriors on it at all, which I guess is cool. So we're gonna go one players, which is gonna be really freaking difficult. And so here we are, crashing into the jungle. Ikari is actually the name of the city or the village that we're trying to save in this game. So we'll see how well that goes. I haven't played this game in a while. So one of the things right off the bat that you can tell is that the game is built so where you don't actually fire straight in front of your character. You kind of fire off to it an aside, because the guy's carrying his gun in his right arm, and so this kind of presents a different challenge where you're kind of used to firing straight ahead at your opponents, and that's no longer the case here. So that's our little milk carton grenades. Had to change the tag on the video. Still had, really? Because I just updated it. That's crazy. Let me read it. Let me take a quick look here. Oh, the tag. Yep. Gotcha. Thank you, Gabriel, for that. I'm assuming it's Gabriel. I don't know. That might have been Memo. Thanks, whoever jumped on the account. Back to the game. So yeah, so that presents a little bit of a challenge. The levels here are inordinately long. There's four different levels. The first 3 levels have 6 what we would call gates, which are kind of like checkpoints. Obviously in the Nintendo, the checkpoint doesn't really save anything. It's just kind of a marker to say this is the end of this particular part of the game, or this particular part of this level, and that's about it. So there's 6 of them, and in the 4th stage there is in the 4th stage there's 7 of them. So the game is just inordinately long, and I've actually never passed it. My brother and I played the crap out of this game, and it was probably one of our favorite games to play. But it's just so darn hard to beat, and so that was with 2 players. So I'd imagine me by myself right now is going to definitely present a challenge. One of the other things that's kind of unique to the game is the the fact that you actually have limited ammo. And so right now I am driving around in this tank, And if you look at the top left corner, the blinking light there shows my my ammo and also some gas. And so you are limited a little bit on ammunition and weapons. So they created as if the game wasn't hard enough already. They created another kind of component to the game to make it just that much more difficult. People really dislike this music, and I actually don't. I'm kind of a fan of it. The reason that most people dislike it pretty significantly has very little to do, I think, with the actual song. It has a whole lot to do with how much you freaking hear it. It is like the most repetitive thing you hear, not just because of the nature of the game. The levels are so damn long. So we'll escape this tank. We'll come to this tank. So I did a quick tank change there just because of the gas. I dig the music too, but it's just the levels are so damn long, and you'll kind of notice that here. So one of the cool codes that that my brother and I used to kind of exploit constantly, and mind you, this was like before the internet, and so codes were not readily available. It was just something that you figured out in time, and so we kind of unintentionally figured out that if you both try to get into the tank at the same time, it'll make two tanks. Damn it. Get out of the tank. Damn it. And that had very little to do with like the figuring that out had very little to do with like we were trying to figure something out. It had a whole lot to do with we were both just trying to get into the tank at the same time. And so this game is also pretty cool in that it has kind of a continue code that also happenstance unintentionally figured out. And that is if you hit A, B, B, A, you will respawn. You have 2 lives, I think, or 3 lives. And once you lose both those lives, or all those lives, like I'm going to here, you're dead, and that's the end of the game. However, you can respawn. Hit A, B, B, A, and you will respawn magically, and that is awesome. And even with the infinite respawning, still, this game is freaking difficult. I feel like this game made me like learn algebra and like proper what's the word? Proper geometry and angles and whatnot. God, this is so hard. Just because of the way the game is built, it's ridiculous. Alright. So, and if you did, damn it, and if you did happen to be in 1-player mode and then your buddy came over or your brother came over and was like, hey, I want to play too, you didn't actually have to turn off the console to do that. They could hit A, they could grab the second player controller, hit A, B, B, A, and they'd spawn. So the downside to this game here is that whenever you want to turn around, you can't just turn around. You have to do a complete 180, and so that that makes it really hard to kind of like place yourself appropriately. Just throw a grenade here. Jesus. Damn you. So if you actually don't move quick enough in the game, fire will start coming out behind you and kind of like forcing you along. That was kind of the game's way of saying hurry your nalgas. I got time for this nonsense. Which I guess is pretty cool. Can be pretty cool, I guess. Speed up the process. So, clearly, this game has a lot of built-in, like, damn it. A lot of, make it just harder than it really needs to be, stuff going on. And like I said at the beginning, one of the main reasons that this is kind of one of my favorite games, and one of the games that really kept me playing Nintendo, even though it was hard as fuck, and apparently still is hard as fuck, is the fact that I continued to play the game. I played this game as a kid, and I played it with my brother, and I played it so often, it was just like inordinate how much we played this game. Why we played the game so much, I have no idea, but we played it tons. And we had a good time doing it, and it was crazy how often we played it. I think this was probably the like go-to multiplayer game for us, and it might have been, I don't know, maybe it was because it was like the only two-player game we had. I don't think it was, but it might have been, and so obviously that would probably have played a factor in that. Should that have been the case? But I just enjoy. I think it's kind of, for me anyway, it's one of those games that I would call like quintessential classic games, because of the need for persistence in this game. Like, they don't hand you anything. They don't make it easy for you. Sure, you can get a game genie or anything like that, and this game would be big time facilitated for you, infinite lives and all that kind of good stuff, but the game didn't hand you anything. It wasn't like, oh, we're just the first level is going to be a freebie. Actually, that's a lie. It does actually hand you something, because right when you start the game, the enemies won't actually like attack you. They'll just kind of get really close, and that'll kind of be that. So that's the freebie. You don't get attacked in the first few steps of the game. And I guess there's the code, right? You know, this ABBA, where you just won't. You can just continue as much as you want. However, I do think that the code stops working once you get into the third area. Once you get to the kind of like the halfway point of the game. One of the biggest downsides, that little eye that appears, is like a heat-seeking missile. I don't think it's an eye. I think it's like a target. But you know, graphics and stuff. Oh no. What was more difficult, this game or the game you played at Classic Game Fest? Oh, hands down, this game. Classic Game Fest, we played Balloon Fight for the tournament. I'm assuming that's what you're asking about. Balloon Fight, I played a whole lot of as a kid too. But that game was more of just like a technical challenge. Like there was a skill that needed to be developed there. With this particular game, it's like, I think that a lot of the spawn points are random, so it's hard to calculate. So the level's never very consistent. Plus, it's a marathon of a game. It's just inordinately long, the levels are. And so because of the control problem, where I was talking about the rotary joystick that was built for the arcade for this game, you don't have that rotary with this controller. And so that presents a big problem in trying to develop the skill or properly navigate the game. That problem is actually the most evident when you're in the helicopter or the tank, because you actually have to hit the A button to turn the turret of the tank or the helicopter to guide which way you want to shoot. And so there's actually like a physical limitation to the game because of the controller in this particular game, because it wasn't built for the Nintendo. It was ported to the Nintendo from the arcade. And so yeah, so this is hands down a far more difficult game. Plus, I think the fact that like with Balloon Fight, I knew there wasn't an end. It was kind of like you're going for points. Here, I know there's an end, and I've actually never been to the end, and that's like super frustrating to me, because I've played this game so damn much in my life and was never able actually to obtain that kind of like finale, the reward of the end. And so you can see how many times I've already died and restarted here, and I still haven't reached the end of the first area. This is all still technically the first area here. Damn it. I wanted my helicopter. So that was a long answer to your question. The short answer is this game is by far more difficult than what I played at Classic Game Fest. Even though I would venture to say that I've played them about the equivalent amount of time. If anything, I've actually played maybe this game a little more than I've played that game. Which I guess just speaks poorly to my skill level for this game right now. Why do I keep... Yeah, God damn it, stupid bastard. Oh no! I think a lot of the other comparisons that are made for this game too are to Contra, because Contra had a similar, I don't remember which Contra it was, but they also had like an over-the-top kind of format on one of their games, and that game was so fluid in the directions, because I mean you can even tell kind of just looking here, you get kind of the cardinal directions and then the spaces in between. But that still leaves some space to be desired where the bullets are going. See, just that's the prime example right there, where the guy just kind of like snuck by my bullet. So it's like one of those things where the game is just kind of built for you to fail multiple times. These guys are relentless. This is one of those times that I wish my brother was around so I could play with that guy and work through this a little bit easier without dying so damn much. The worst part about this game is like dying and not getting that ABBA thing down. And once again, the ABBA thing was another accident that my brother and I figured out when we first started playing the game. We'd actually just tap A and B back and forth really fast, and eventually I guess we would like mistap the A button so it would create the ABBA thing and we would respawn. So we just thought you had to tap A and B really fast back and forth, and eventually maybe the game would decide to let you respawn. Obviously that wasn't the case, but as children we were completely unaware. Once again, no internet, so that had an effect. That has an effect. Different times, different times. No joke though, that beer is delicious. Revolver Brewing, Blood and Honey. There you go. It's good. Recommend. Like, you can actually destroy your own tank if you hit it with a grenade before you get going here, so you always have to be very careful with that. So see how I can move my tank and my gun stays facing forward, but if I hit A and turn, then I can change where the turret is pointed. So that's a skill that takes a little bit of mastering, which kind of sucks to learn on the fly as a child. Once you get the swing of it though, it's totally worth it. It's pretty legit. Nintendo Power! Yeah, Gabe, totally. Nintendo Power was the source for all things coding. I was never cool enough to have like a Game Genie or anything, and so it was just, I just kind of had to deal. It was lame. Oh shoot! Nope. That tank had less gas anyway. Wasn't even worth the change. Oh, damn it. That blast can kill you too, so you always gotta be careful for that shiz. Oh yeah, I forgot you could blow up the doors. So there's actually like a secret power-ups, gold bars, and like a gold heart. And the gold heart will give you like every power up in the game, and I've never actually found one. As far as I'm concerned, that is a myth, a legend, as they say. So I don't know anything about that, but apparently they're real and they're in the game, but I've never found one before. So we'll see. Once I get to the once I get to the end of this level, I'm going to if I get to the end of this level, I am probably going to skip ahead and go to level 3, because area 2 is exactly like area 1, which is what I'm playing through right now, except it's more difficult. But it's pretty much the same thing. So we'll skip it because unnecessary repetition. But we'll go to area 3 so that you can see what that looks like, and so can I, because I've never been that far, because I'm terrible at this game. And even when I played with my brother as a child, we were terrible at this game. So this is all still Area 1, if you can believe that. The inordinately long level. So you can see how this music would get to be extremely annoying. Oh shoot. Oh, can't kill that. Híjole. Frijole. Alright, I'm just gonna stay away from that guy. We'll just... Man! It's relentless. This guy is not very fast at all. Man! Jesus. Gabe, I will say this. I'm very glad that you're not keeping a death count right now because I think we're like at 20 or 30 something. Easy. Easy peasy. 20 or 30 something. Oh, now you're gonna start the death count? Alright, well, I'm glad you gave me like a 20-point handicap here. I really appreciate that. Oh, a sword. So the knife means that now I can walk up to guys and stab them. Run away! That is a bazooka. It's supposed to be a bazooka. Whoa. And we're going. See, Gabe comes back and threatens me with a death count. And, oh. And I run out of bullets is what happens. Yeah, I just got too close there. That's what I get for, Woo. Wait. Death count 31. Glad there's no death count. It's golden. Golden. So, like I've always said, since I started making these videos for you guys, is that for me, classic gaming is all about memories. And I had some really good memories with this game with my bro. Just playing this game kind of brings back some of that. Not only like fun times, but just sheer anger sometimes at like making mistakes or just not knowing what's going on. And if we had known the ABBA thing accurately then, I think we'd have been in a good place to beat the game. But you know, we were kids, and that was a different time. No internet and all that jazz. So it's just fun how the world works. But yeah, classic gaming is all about memories, and I have so many with this one. And you know, I always talk about like the nostalgic generation and how a lot of good, I think, has come out of some of these classic games. And for me specifically, this one, I think a lot of my determination, sheer determination and will to succeed came from just playing the crap out of this game, because I had some serious desire to succeed at this game. Never did, but damn, did I try. Oop. Shooting angles would make Contra brown. These shooting angles are terrible. Look at it. Look at that. Look at these gaps. It's like, just hide in here, bad guys, and you'll be great. You don't have to worry about anything. Just hide inside my, 45-degree angle of shot. Oh, shoot. Maybe if I don't react, nobody will notice. Did they notice, Gabe? Did they? Damn underwater guy. Alright, I'm gonna give myself about 4 or 5 more minutes to get through this level. And well, if it doesn't work out, then we'll just move on to the next. I have a code for that I didn't have back in the day, which now I wish I did have, though I may have had and was not using it properly. I don't know stuff anymore. God, I hate those exploding guys. They're terrible. Where did they even come from? Why are they even here? Who made them? I'm telling you, Gabe, death count's gonna be huge for this one. Huge. Like BDLD huge. Alright, well, that was... I hate this water stuff. It's nonsense. It makes you go so slow. Just an open target for death. Everybody's just like spawning right there. Look at that. I don't hate explosions as much as I hate water. Water and explosions. Double. Yeah, every 5 deaths is probably good. I'm telling you, man, there's a lot. It's just... this game by yourself is a challenge. It's one of the hardest games you will ever play alone. Like, playing this with my brother, we were both very well aware of the fact that that we weren't going to be like that we weren't going to be, completing the game without dying. Shit. I'm so close to the end here. I actually kind of just want to finish this first level. Sorry guys, I may not, I'll definitely try to show you guys the other levels before we finish off here. We still got time, but yeah, I'm kind of closer than I imagined that I would be, so I kind of want to finish this off before I start hopping forward. So one of my other favorite game titles that the characters from this game come out in is, I get it, dude, I get it. Stop trying to blow me up. Is Metal Slug. Boy, am I a fan of that franchise. Metal Slug was probably one of my first arcade loves. It's a great game. If you've never played Metal Slug, you need to. It's great. It's a fantastic game. these blue dudes up on this wall you can't shoot them because obviously they're up on the wall and you can't aim up because that's just the way the game is built. Once again, this game is built for you to fail. They don't want you to succeed. I feel like the mentality back in the 90s was like success is for wussies or something like that. Like they just didn't want you to succeed at all in these games. Which, like I continue to say about the nostalgic generation, makes us stronger, better people overall, I believe. I think, I don't know anything for a fact, but this is all just hearsay. The most relentless level of my life, still not over. The reason I say, like, I know that I've restarted a bunch of times and it's only taken about, what, 40 minutes for me to get here. And this is the furthest I've ever been, or I say that this is the furthest I've ever been, is because this ABBA thing, I didn't know it as a child properly, and so restarting was really was not as easy as I'm making it look right now, and that was more because we didn't know what was causing us to restart the game. We would just hit AB rapidly over and over and over again, and sometimes it would restart us, and that was because of failed execution going AB, not because we were like, oh yeah, we know how to make this work. Shit. Yes, the dark can kill you too, apparently. Boom. That's the end of the first area. Took all of what, 40 minutes or so? And then right back to the beginning. What? So we're just gonna die a couple times here, and we're gonna do a little cheat action to get us to a further level here. I like how the game, like when you die, it like gives you some time to put in your ABBA code before it kicks you out. So kind of them. It's like they knew you were gonna suffer. Alright, so this code is inordinately long. I don't know why they made it inordinately long, but it is. And so we're going to do our best here to put it all in. So if you'll bear with me here, we have to wait until the one player, two player thing comes up. So I'm gonna be silent here while I type it in. See if I got it. Perfect. So on the title screen, before it actually starts doing that, you have to type in up, down, A, B, left, right, A, B, up, A, down, right, left, B, up, left, A, right, B, left, A, left, up, A, down, A, right, left, B, and start. And then you get this. Why did they make that so damn long? I have no idea, but they did. So let's go to area 4 so we can see kind of what that last area looks like, because I've never been there. Now this is trippy. This is definitely not the jungle. This game takes a turn in area 4, it looks like. looks like a space, like we're on a spaceship here or something. So this actually has a very similar feel to the third level. It's just the color schemes are a little different. Obviously the bad guys have the same color scheme, but the level build is about the same as the third. So if that gives you just kind of a general concept of what the third area looks like, kind of looks like this too. The coloration is different, but it's the premise is the same. Triple shot? I've never had a triple shot before. Man, I feel like my brother and I just missed out on a lot as kids, just not paying attention to the game. Makes you wonder, like, what the hell were you doing with your life, man? Looks like in Sonic Casino level. Yeah, it sure does look like that. It definitely's got that feel for it. Definitely. Agreed. I agree with your assessment, Gabriel. Whoa. That is a lot of missiles. Bro, you are not helping me right now. I don't appreciate that. What I think would be great for Classic Game Fest is if they put this game and do like a a point run for this game. Who can get the most points on this game without dying? Like low 100 counts constantly. That's right, Tank. You go to hell and you die. Whoa! That is BS! Get out of the tank! Almost didn't get that one. Heat-seeking missiles. So Ikari Warriors actually had like 2 follow-up games. There's like one called Ikari Warriors Victory Road, I believe, and then Ikari Warriors 3. I don't believe those games were as well received as this one. I have them on a ROM game that I bought, so we'll probably play those later on, and I might play them for you guys to see how it goes. Ooh. Sneaky, sneaky. All the tanks. Seriously, dude. Oh, God. How about we just say like death count 500 and not worry about the death count? Because, geez Louise. So you guys saw how long it took for me to finish that first level. So imagine doing that like 3 more times, with the last level being the longest, having 7 gates versus just the 6 that first one did. You can see how this game would be a daunting task to complete. What was what called again? What were that called again? Not too sure I'm aware about what you're talking about, my friend. If you're talking about what the sequels were called again, the second one is called Ikari Warriors Victory Road, I believe, and then Ikari Warriors 3. If that's what you're asking. I'm not too sure what exactly you were asking. I'm gonna assume that's what you were asking. Assumptions have been made. Yeah, okay. Yeah. The other titles were Ikari Warriors Victory Road, or I think maybe just Victory Road, and then Ikari Warriors 3 was the third one. Like I said, not well received, particularly. These characters for this game do make an appearance in the King of Fighters game, as well as in the Metal Slug series, I think in the 6th and 7th game, if that's what I said at the beginning. And Metal Slug is one of my all-time favorites, and it's one of those that kind of falls into that realm of games like we were talking about I think a couple episodes back, the Metroidvania kind of games, where you got a lot of you kind of have some like 2D side-scrolling exploration options, which really make the game entertaining. Oh shoot. Oh, I think I've reached the end of the... Oh, no, got out. Yeah, survival. Just as hard as this one. I'm not too sure if they're just as hard as this one. I've actually never played them. I actually was unaware that they existed up until recently. I bought a ROM game where you guys have been seeing me play this 143 best games of all time ROM. This is kind of where a lot of the games that I've been playing for you guys have been pulled from. However, the ones that I like I was playing Mario 3 for you guys last week. This has a lot of stuff that has been changed, and like cheat codes and stuff that I don't really appreciate. So I actually bought Mario 3. I actually bought Mario All-Stars for the Super Nintendo, so I'll probably revisit that one without the ROM. But this ROM does have those two Ikari Warrior games in them. Though they're going to be the Japanese versions of those games, so they'll be just a hair different, but we'll see how hard they are once we play them. This one that I'm playing is actually the actual Ikari Warriors copy that came out for the US release. I actually popped in the ROM version of it, and I like just the title screen was really weird to me because I wasn't used to that, and so I just I went with this one instead because I don't know, nostalgia, and that was weird. I don't know why it keeps giving me fuel. I guess the expectation is that I should have a tank or some sort of other weapon at this point. Yes, the star was lasting forever in the one on that ROM. So I bought the Mario All Stars, and I don't think that star will last forever. I actually had to confer with the wife about the star because she played a lot of Mario 3 back in the day. Super Nintendo was her jam. I actually bought the Super Nintendo kind of just for her because that's what she remembers, that's what she knows, and so I bought it for her. But yeah, she's the one that knew best on that one, just because she had a lot more history with playing that Mario 3 on the Super Nintendo, sir. But yeah, she said not supposed to go down that way, so that was weird. No more locked doors. Obviously, the SS makes you run faster. Damn it. I thought I could outrun bullets. Clearly, I'm not Superman. All of you die. If this level's anywhere near as long as the other one, I'm obviously not going to finish it before our time comes. Can you disable those cheats on the ROM, or are they built in? It seems like they're built in. I didn't see an option for that. I'll take another look and evaluate it a little better. But I didn't see anything that would suggest that I could take them off. So I think they're kind of locked in, which is, it kind of sucks, but not. I guess it's kind of cool depending on your style of game. When I was growing up, I think in the mid-90s for Christmas, my dad bought me this ROM, which is 110 games in one. This is kind of one of the first ones, or one of the first ones that was built. And so, you know, we did the old school thing. We put our names in the back. And so that one, actually, what I like about it is when you scroll through the game titles, in the end, they have some like repeated games, but those have been modified, but they're colored to kind of make you aware that those have been modified, and you can play a non-modified or a non-cheat coded game that's listed earlier in the series of games when they're listed, and then at the end they have the modified ones that you can play. So it's not really like 110 games, it's more like 85 or 90 games, and they have like 20 or 25 of them that are repeated but with some modification to them. I'm not too sure how many of the games are like that. We'll have to find out as we play through them, so we'll all learn together. But I'll make sure to let you guys know in the future when I'm playing off the ROM. Flash would be disappointed. Yeah, that I could not run the bullet. I'll never make it up to that guy. What the fuck? That was unexpected. Oh, fuck me. That was also unexpected. So I can blow up these cans? It's just those. See, they get all the cool angles of bullets, and I get the lame angles. Go to hell and you die. Together. We're unstoppable. Oy. Oy. Alright. This will probably be my last life, so let's see. Let's see how far we can get without dying. Not very far, it looks like. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Oh, fuck me. Alright, let me try a little bit more here. This is ridiculous. Oh, goodness me. Why do I always try to kill everything? Why can't I just walk away? Alright, I'm gonna let it die. I'm gonna watch a speed run of this after. I wonder how crazy they are. They're actually pretty crazy. I think what ends up happening is they go for the golden heart right out of the gate, and I don't know where they are, so I'll have to look for that. But yeah, I think with a lot of these skill games like this one, the balloon fight, the speed runs are really difficult. I was talking to SSD Ninja, the guy that I played for the final round of the balloon fight tournament at Classic Game Fest, and in talking with him, we were talking about going for the highest score for balloon fight. And so if you could imagine the high score cycle, so once you get to be 1,000,000 points, it'll cycle over. So the highest score for that is like 4,400,000 or something like that. But it takes about 40 minutes to get about 1,000,000 points in that game. No matter how good you are, it's going to take that time. And so that's going to be 4 cycles of 40 minutes. So what's that, like 160 minutes plus half of that, so another 30. So you're looking at like 190 minutes maybe of gameplay for the max points on balloon fight. So what does that translate into? Like 3 hours and 10 minutes, something to that effect. So that's just like straight gameplay, 3 hours and 10 minutes of balloon fight, which would be a daunting task. And so the same with this kind of game. Like, the characters are slow, they only move so fast. That SS power up that you saw me get, that's the fastest they're gonna go, which was pretty quick, but it's still not gonna be crazy fast. So the speed runs obviously are not gonna be super quick, but they'll be entertaining, I'm sure, to watch. So this was Ikari Warriors. It was fun to play. It was kind of fun to relive some of my childhood. It was good to have the codes with me, as much as I don't like to use them for this particular game. We kind of have to, just because of the sheer nature of the game and the fact that I don't have a second player with me. So hopefully at some point in the future I can get my brother to come and play some of these games with me, so you can see kind of what this experience used to look like in my childhood. And maybe one day we'll have the technology where one of you guys can join me and play online. But we'll kind of see what happens there going forward. So I've actually recently bought a Genesis game that was like one of my favorite arcade games when I was a kid growing up. So I'm actually going to play that. Sorry, Gabriel, I'm actually going to play that game. I'm not going to reveal what it is just yet. It is a Genesis game though. It is a very unique game, and I'm very excited to play it for you guys. That game should be getting to me either Friday or Monday of next week, but I'll definitely have it before next week's stream, so I'm going to play that for you guys. So it's very exciting for me. I've been wanting to play this game for you guys for a long time. I've actually just wanted to own this game for a long time, so very excited excited for that. So thanks for hanging out with me and playing Ikari Warriors with me. It was fun. It was a good trip down memory lane for this one. Remembering the hardship. Sanic the Hodgepodge. This guy. I've really tried to pre-record some videos for you guys for Thursdays, but I've just been having a lot of difficulty just because of my schedule. So I'm gonna try and see if I can't put something out for you guys on Thursday. If I'm unable to, then I'm sorry. Things that I do want to mention real quick before I go. Number one, it was announced today that Nintendo will be restarting the Nintendo World Champion. And so a lot of you guys probably remember that from the 90s and the movie The Wizard, which you probably haven't seen or heard about in a long time. But they're restarting the Nintendo World Championship. So on August 12th, I think you can go to your local Best Buy and go to the qualifying rounds and try to see if you can make it to that. So I think that'd be fun. Nothing lost by doing this. I don't think you have to pay any entrance fees or anything like that. Just go to your local Best Buy. They'll kind of walk you through it and you play the game. I don't know what that game is. I don't know if it's been revealed just yet. I'll have to look into that. Last year was kind of a compilation of the game. I think they had Balloon Fight for the Nintendo. They had some DS game. They had some Mario Kart. So just a variety of things. Just know that the final challenge is extraordinarily hard. Not last year, in 2015 for the 25th anniversary. They had the developers of Nintendo create a Super Mario Maker level just for the championship that the two people competing had to play through. So obviously that was a unique experience all of its own. So that's happening, and I'm still waiting for the pre-order release of the Super Nintendo Classic. I do have a Super Nintendo already in my possession, and I'm really just trying to get the Super Nintendo so that I can play some Star Fox 2 for you guys, because I think that'll be fun. So yes, we got a lot of cool things coming up. I got a lot of cool things coming up. But if you guys want to try for that Nintendo World Championship, by all means, go to your local Best Buy in about 4 days and give it a shot. The worst thing that can happen is nothing. So it'll be fun. So I will try to get you guys on Thursday, and if I don't, I will definitely see you on Tuesday of next week. Same time, same channel. Please like, please subscribe, please follow us on Facebook. It's going to be awesome. And so I look forward to seeing you guys on Tuesday. Continue to chat. And I'm just so excited to play this game for you guys. So we'll learn more about it when we get closer to that date. So until then, keep it classic.